Are you making mistakes that are costing you your natural hair goals, like literally keeping you from gaining the length that you have sought out to require this whole time? Don't worry, I have made them too. So many, too many probably to even mention. Today, I'm going to talk about some of those mistakes that I made earlier on in my natural hair journey that I wish I would have known better, but I do now, and I'm going to share those with you. Earlier in my natural hair journey, I think I just completely jumped full force into it. I remember being natural, and I remember just kind of telling myself I didn't want to transition because I didn't feel like transitioning was for me. I felt like it's something I kind of just wanted to go headstrong into, get it over and done with. And that's what I did. I big chopped my hair. You guys, as you see on my channel, I'm sure you can see those earlier videos of me. I just big chopped, and it's what I wanted to do. I wanted to go full force into it, and I did. But I wasn't really ready to manage my hair as I thought I was because it was a completely different texture. It was a completely different ball game. So I am going to share with you guys some things that I wish I would have known before because they could have been avoided. And honestly, I could have been like smoothly transitioned to my goal. If you didn't know, in the beginning of my hair journey, my length goal was literally just to the middle of my back. It wasn't even ever to be like hip length, tailbone length, or anything like that. It was literally just to be to the middle of my back. And yeah, I could have gotten there a lot sooner had I had understood a few more concepts that I didn't get now. But let's get into it. So when I went natural, I feel like I was the ultimate product junkie. Like every video I saw online recommending a product, I had to go out and get. I'm sure that a lot of people can relate because there were so many natural hair gurus that were kind of just like telling us, hey, get this, get that, get this method works, that works. And so I was just buying it all. I remember I was buying Kinky Curly Not Today. I was buying the Mixed Chicks brand. I was buying, there was another one that they sold at Target exclusively. And oh my God, their products were so expensive. And you guys can only imagine, like, with a lot of these brands, if you just went and bought like the shampoo, conditioner, and deep conditioner, you're already at like $80. And that's not even talking about the gel and the styler. And mind you, a lot of these brands they sold at one point. I don't know now because I don't use a lot of them anymore. But at one point they sold these products in really tiny bottles, which was crazy because thinking of like natural hair and just how thick and expansive it can be, it was like, who is that gonna last for? Like, and how long? So yeah, I just remember buying everything I saw. My hair was just like sticky, tangled, and confused because it did not understand what I was doing to it. I didn't even understand. Now, some of them actually were good. I remember earlier on when I used to buy Shea Moisture, I used to really enjoy it was like the pink line. I forgot the name of it. The hibiscus, I think something. And it worked and I loved it. So I'm not going to say that they were all bad, but what I am saying is that like a lot of these products were so unnecessary. I wish I would have known that you don't need the styler, you don't need the curl cream, you don't need all these array of products that, honestly, for the most part, kind of do the same thing. Okay, we're not gonna say, let's not talk about how they kind of all do the same thing or can do the same thing with the difference of obviously like a gel or a hold, a hold product. But yeah, no. And honestly, I found that now the less products I use, the better my hair turns out. A braid out, that's with me doing my silk presses or whatever. The less I use, the better it turns out. I want to say the difference is now that I focus on my hair's porosity, its density, its texture. I focus on those things when I'm doing my hair, and I try to make sure that whatever products I'm using check all the boxes of what I need. I know that my hair can get super dry, it can get super matted, super tangled. Fairy knots are a thing. So I tend to like use products or buy products geared towards those things. So number one, moisture is my biggest thing on my list. You guys know I'm like a moisture freak. Any shampoo or conditioner that I use, shampoo cannot be super stripping to the point where it's leaving my hair feeling like a piece of hay. All the deep conditioners or regular conditioners that I use, I try to make sure that they're all moisturizing, they are all very conditioning, and they help with detangling, and they just overall make my hair feel good. If they do not make my hair feel good, they have got to go, and I will never use them again. I'm very straightforward with my hair products now, and you guys know even more that I don't use many hair products, and the hair products that I do use are the ones that I found that have worked, and I keep using them. L'Oreal Elvive line being one of them. I love L'Oreal Elvive. Tend to use conditioners and shampoos that work for me. I'm not using just what's popular, what's on brand, and so if I could go back, I would save my money and not be buying like everything I see in a video. And also, I had to learn that what worked for other people wouldn't necessarily work for me, and that didn't mean that my hair was a terrible type of hair or anything like that. That just meant that two different people have different hair needs, and they can have the same, hair type. They can both be 3C4A, but there could be different porosities, different, overall needs in one person's head of hair. Once I started doing what truly worked for me, that's when I saw a difference in my hair growth and my overall hair routine and in my hair's health, because I was actually just doing what my hair likes and what works for me. So yeah, guys, if I could go back in time, I would stop just buying everything that I saw online that was trending, that people, were talking about. I wish I would have kind of just like not even paid attention to that and just kind of more so focused on what works for me. Not saying don't watch other natural hair YouTubers or influencers, but just keep in mind that what works for them may not work for you, and do your own thing, and don't feel the need to buy everything that's surging in popularity within that natural hair community, because you will be broke and you will be mad because half of it will not probably fit the needs that you're looking for. And I think the biggest secret is too that natural hair, just like any other hair, just needs the basics of being washed, conditioned really well, and then just protected from severe damage. If you have a routine that does that, you're already halfway there. So number 2, another mistake that I regret making when I went natural is that I didn't understand how easily natural hair tangles when left kind of just out to its own devices. Honestly, this is a lesson that I've learned probably just recently within the past 5 or so years, that I really kind of started realizing like you need to keep your hair as stretched as possible, as much as possible, in order to see that you avoid breakage. So stretch to me is a ponytail in my hair's natural state. It is braids in a natural state. It is just anything that after I wash it, it is put in a controlled style where my hair is not allowed to tangle. And even when my hair dries, I don't just leave it out and let it kind of just go all over my head in any way. No, I generally do just keep it in 2 braids or a ponytail. And even when I have it straight like this, generally, I have it in a clip, guys. My hair is not like out all over my head all the time. I generally am like styling my hair for these videos, but I usually just have it up out of the way, like in a ponytail or a clip, or even like a single braid, but like something where my hair is like controlled and like kept together. Because another thing is that when hair is kept together in groups, it's stronger versus when it's kind of kept separately. It's like in weaker states. And I think that I explained this to you guys in other videos with my rope analogy, right? How we talk about like a rope with its twines together is strong. You cannot snap it. But if you take them apart, you risk being able to snap those twines because they are individual now. They are not within groups. So I try to keep like the same analogy with my hair too. Another thing that keeping my hair in these stretch styles does for me is that it prevents what we call fairy knots. And I used to get so many fairy knots. Oh, it was not even funny. And although fairy knots for the most part are not like harmful to your hair, you do have to be careful, because like if you're like detangling your hair or like styling your hair, sometimes your detangling tools can snag on them and cause your hair to break off. I used to have so many fairy knots when I used to leave my hair out. Because I would be doing like wash and goes, or like pretty much just styles where like I kind of wet my hair and just allowed it to be out. And I just realized how much fairy knots I would get, especially like too if like I did a ponytail with my hair, right? So the most of my hair is stretched, but like the outside was left out. I would see like a lot of knots at the end of my hair. So again, one way how I combat that when my hair is wet and it's drying is I put it in a braid, or if I do put it in a ponytail, I put the length of that ponytail in a bun, or I'll like separate it. I don't know how I can explain it to you guys. Like if this is the bun, I'll like put the hair like this, and then I'll tuck it underneath the bun as I'm wrapping it around. So I'll either twist and wrap, or I'll kind of like I just said, it's confusing. Either way, I'll make sure the ends of my hair are basically just like put away, tucked away, stretched, and not able to just tangle around itself and create knots and tangles. So yeah, that is a major lesson that I learned while being natural. Oh my gosh. And again, this is something that I pretty much recently really started incorporating in my routine within the last past 5 years, and I've been very consistent with it, which is why I am able to retain so much length quicker. I do think that my hair grows at a decent pace, and I think the reason why I see a lot of that growth is because of, like I said, the theory of just keeping my hair stretched and unable to tangle around itself. I have not had a bad matted hair day in so long, in years. I used to have really bad days in the shower where I would just like be ripping through my hair. So yeah, I haven't did that. I have now, realized a way to prevent those tangles and mats is to take steps prior to wash day that keep my hair in a state that doesn't cause me to have to like fight with my hair, basically. So number 3, not having a detangling routine. And this is kind of in the same realm of number 2, with the tangles and mats. So now I have a detangling routine. I split my hair in two, and I detangle my hair after the conditioner has set in, and I'm rinsing it out. I am just detangling it, working from the bottoms all the way up. I think I pretty much always understood to work from the bottoms and work my way up. However, again, because I would unfortunately let my hair tangle so bad, it would be really, really traumatic and hard to get through those tangles on wash day. So I would often just find myself like ripping through my hair just like after a while, like, okay, like we cannot stay in the shower forever. And I'm sure that like everybody at some point has gone through that frustration where they're just like, you just want to get through your hair, you just want to detangle it and do what you have to do. Nobody wants to be in the shower for 5 hours. I learned that pre-prepping my hair for the next wash day on wash day, meaning what? Putting my hair in styles that kept it stretched, that kept the ends protected, or kept them from being able to knot or tangle around each other, definitely helped next wash day. And doing that consistently for the last past 5.5 years has helped me tremendously retain so much length. And that is not a concept that I think a lot of naturals get, or not a lot of black girls about their hair, period. I don't care if you're natural, you're relaxed, or whatever the heck you're doing to your hair. I don't think that is an analogy that a lot of us get. I don't know about you, but growing up, I saw different females detangling their hair, and the way that they would detangle their hair, it was always assumed that our hair just knotting and tangling was just a part of it, like it's something natural. It's not. I mean, all hair can have the ability to knot and tangle. There's nothing abnormal about it, but there's nothing natural about your hair just tangling so bad to the point where you're literally ripping out strands after strands and just chopping your hair. You're basically slowly chopping your hair to death. That's not natural. But I think for a long period of time, for a lot of people who grew up seeing that and grew up doing that to their hair, we thought that that was natural. That was the way we were supposed to detangle our hair. We didn't know. We just thought like, oh, this is just a part of our hair. It's not, and it doesn't have to be that way. And one way you can prevent that again is planning for the next wash day on the current wash day. And all you're doing is putting your hair in a style that is not allowing it to mat and tangle to the degree that you now must rip out your hair to detangle it and style it. Does that make sense? I feel like that was like a tongue twister. So yeah, basically that is the analogy, and that is with number 3. And number 2, the prior tip that I just gave you. This is something that I have been doing for 5.5 years consistently. And this is what made the major change in like my length retention abilities. This is what had me now being able to now being able pretty much to retain length better than I ever had before. That is a major key in length retention. This is why I don't preach to you guys that length retention is about products. Length retention is about techniques. Okay, just like anything else, any other goal, it is about techniques. And if you have the technique, then you can pretty much do whatever it is that you want to do. Number 4 is I didn't realize how dry natural hair could get. And I think like many people in the beginning of their natural hair journey, even if they are relaxed as well, curly hair, textured hair, kinky hair has the ability to just feel kind of dry no matter what. So I really didn't understand the difference between the two, but I also didn't understand how the hair acted in between the two. Like how dry hair was more apt to break, tangle, mat, and just completely not act the way that you wanted it to when you set out to like style it or do anything to it that you wanted to do, versus how like moisturized hair was easier to detangle, it was less likely to mat, comply with your styling needs. So that was one of the things that I learned, that I wish I would have known earlier in the beginning of my hair journey, but soon I understood. And not allowing my hair to just go so long in between washes and to get extremely dry. I mean, there would be times that my hair would get so dry, so matted, so just like all over the place, because I didn't understand the concept of my hair needing to be replenished with water multiple times throughout the week, not just like once every like 2 months. I mean, I don't think I was going that long, but you get the gist of what I'm saying. So moisture became again a really big focus of mine, not just through products, but also through washing my hair, introducing my hair to water multiple times a week when it was in its natural state. So now I understand that yes, like 2 to 3 times a week, my hair needs to be introduced to a water stream with water, steam, moisture. If I'm not shampooing, just a hair mask or a hair conditioner, but some sort of source of moisture to kind of keep my hair in a moisturized state. And it has nothing to do with like oils or serums. Those are great, but they do not add moisture. They kind of just help to maintain moisture and lubrication to the hair. I personally believe the moisture levels are on the inside of the strand, which is why I told you guys when I ended up straightening my hair from air drying 2 braids the other day, I do truly believe the difference that I'm seeing is because the moisture level within my hair before straightening it, versus when I blow dry it first, it kind of sucks a lot of moisture out of it. I do believe I am seeing more of a moisture balance because I allowed it to air dry first and then I straightened it, versus again applying direct heat such as a blow dryer and then straightening it. So I think that's the difference that I'm seeing. But yeah, guys, moisture was a big one. Wash your hair multiple times throughout the week. You don't have to use a shampoo each time. Throw a mask in your hair. Throw something moisturizing in your hair and just let that do its job. But don't be afraid to moisturize your hair. Natural hair needs moisture. Kinky, curly hair needs moisture. That's what's gonna save your hair. Allowing my hair to become too dry in between washes is a mistake that I made over and over again until I got it in my head the difference between how dry natural hair feels and reacts to the difference of how moisturized natural hair feels and reacts. So that is something that completely changed my whole all over hair routine. So if you guys don't learn anything else, please learn that do not allow your hair to get so bone dry that it's literally flaking off and snapping off like a twig because it has not been given water in weeks. You yourself as a human being cannot go weeks without water. Why would you think your skin or your hair could? Food for thought. So number 5 would have to be not doing my own research. In the beginning, I relied heavily on other influencers and just social media in general for a lot of the information I got about natural hair care, which is not a problem in itself, honestly, because obviously that's where we see most things, we get most ideals nowadays. But it was important that outside of that, I did my own research on moisture balance, on just hair porosity, density. I also looked outside of the box, meaning I didn't just watch natural hair care influencers. I watched any influencer that was talking about hair, not just black ones, not just white ones, not just, American ones, but people from all around the world that had input on how to care for hair. And I took the things that I think resonated most with me and the things that proved to work best for me, and I incorporated it in my own way into my hair journey. And learning about a lot of these things, customs, routines of other people was very interesting. Also, an eye opener how different people can have different routines and all arrive at the same pretty much hair destination or hair goal. So although many of the women I watched were from different backgrounds, different cultures, and had different customs when it came to their hair, many of them had long, luscious, beautiful hair, even though they did things completely different from one to the next. So I say that to say, guys, like there's no one way to be natural, there's no one way to care for your hair, and there's no one way to have a hair care routine. I will just say that if you have goals that you feel like you aren't reaching, that your hair is just like working against you, you don't understand why, definitely do your own research. Research these individual issues that you are having with your hair and see what other people are saying and see if somebody is saying something that could help you. You're going to have to kind of experiment and just like read about whatever you're interested when it comes to hair. I know at one point I was really, really highly interested in just hair moisture. I mean, I still am, but like I wanted to know everything about moisture. I like moisture balance in hair, the different oils, the different hair ingredients in hair masks, like pathanol and different things like that. I wanted to understand everything when it came to hair moisture, what helped it stay in, what helped it go in, what helped it maintain its elasticity. I wanted to know it all. So I had to research, and I had to go beyond influencers on YouTube. I mean, I love YouTube, I love TikTok, I love Instagram, but I had to go beyond that. I had to read blogs, I had to just read books, even sometimes ebooks that people would release, or just like I said, I would just come across vlogs and good articles that had a lot of gems in them. So I did my own research, and even now, anything that I want to know when it comes to hair, and just overall how to retain length and add moisture and avoid tangles and matting, like you have to research. I don't want to say I know it all about hair. I think there is so much to still be discovered about hair, especially natural hair, but I can say a lot of things that are out now, I kind of have already been there, done that, ran through the literature, the articles, because I just had a hunger for learning everything about hair care in the beginning of my natural hair journey, and even still, but I just think it doesn't burn as much as it did in the beginning because I was trying to get to a goal that I really wanted. Now that I'm to this goal and that I've learned some things the hard way. I think I pretty much understand what my hair needs to grow and maintain its length, and now it's just kind of all about maintaining and keeping my hair happy with the things and techniques that I use to make sure it continues to retain length and grow. You have reached the end of this video. As a bonus tip, I'm gonna tell you, please remain patient with your hair. Enjoy your hair. Understand your hair is beautiful no matter what, at whatever length it's at. And that's where it all starts, right? Enjoy your hair. Enjoy taking care of it. Enjoy washing it. Enjoy putting a mask in it. Just enjoy it. Enjoy self-care. Your natural hair is a beautiful part of you. There's nothing you can do to it that it won't recover from. Well, most things. But really enjoy your natural hair. See it beautiful as any stage you go through, whether you've just big chopped, it's shoulder length, it's mid back length, or it's thigh length. Like, just enjoy your hair, guys. And with that being said, I thank you so much for listening to my video today. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And if you have any other tips that you want to share with us that helped you, please leave them in the comment section. We all would love to read it. Let's help each other out. I love you guys. Have a good night. Bye.